to the main event of the evening.
Hope I remember to do my picks this week.
Yes. This is where we be. Main event.
Here we go.
Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Now, in the red corner, it is the Sugar Show. He's 18-1. And then in the blue corner, 17-4. Merab has been doing the most and working the absolute hardest out here. But this particular event, I have to say, has been hijacked, hasn't it? Once again, by the Sugar Show. And as I was saying earlier, it's always an entertaining or banging card when Sugar shows up as well, to be honest. So remember 299? UFC 299?
I remember 299.
Great card. I just thought, how could UFC 300 top this?
Yeah, no, 100%. 299 was like mad, and then I think 300 had the finishes to sort of marry up with the card that 299 was.
We were spoiled those weeks. We were absolutely spoiled.
We were spoiled both
but
them,
I have to say, I mean, it was. I thought it was a bit of a shoot themselves in the foot by making such a good card before 300.
Yeah.
But they did it anyway. And they seem to love this Sugar Show with Sean, and they put a lot behind him because this guy is doing the most. He's bringing the numbers. He's bringing the excitement. He's in one of the most exciting possible venues for a fight to ever take place
100%.
in this century, and he's hijacked the show because this would have been a tough finalist on the top of this card, wouldn't it? It would have been the actual Mexican on the day of the Mexicans, you know. So it would have been that, but the star power of Sugar Sean trumps it apparently, which is wild to see. But he kind of gets that power to do whatever he wants. But but let's get to the question of this one. So we stay locked in on this. Only one thing is going to matter. Never mind, Sean does whatever Sean wants to do. What will matter on the night is, can he stay standing against Merab Dvalishvili? What do you think?
Yeah, great question. I can't wait to get into this. Very interesting. So Merab obviously has to get in close to get the takedown. We all know how long and rangy Sean O'Malley is, and we all know how precise his strikes are. And in Merab's last couple of outings, he has been caught several times. And even Cejudo caught him with a left hook. Even Marlon Moraes, who's no longer competing in mixed martial arts, caught him with a left hook.
Yeah.
So it does scare me to think that these guys are not really long and rangy like O'Malley are catching Merab coming in. So it's mad. I honestly don't think Merab can get close. And it's mad me saying that. Like, a lot of people actually know, if he can take one and then get in close, 1,000,000% yes.
Right.
Just a lot of people may just think, oh, Merab's just going to pick him up and dump him. But I think O'Malley can stuff a few takedowns and surprise some people. You know, I think he can.
Yeah, and look, even PDR managed to trip up O'Malley at a couple of stages, and he just bounced back to his feet.
Yeah,
you know, he's got such an urgency to find his feet. If Merab takes him down, he's really got to do it with a double leg. And also, I think someone like Sean, and what's so good about Sean is, you know, he doesn't have one particular superpower. Being, I guess he does in a sense. You know, it's not power, it's not grappling, it's not all that, but he's got fantastic striking and precision, if I'd say that's his superpower. And that's and that speed is what's so useful.
100%.
But the point I'm trying to make with this is that, you know, the guy's got a good fighter IQ that makes him adaptable. He knows what tools to deploy for what fights. And with this particular one, I'll probably look to see more uppercuts or those knees coming through to kind of prevent Merab from shooting on him. But you know, and I think even PDR tried to get O'Malley down, didn't he?
Yeah, I think you're right there. Obviously, JK's been saying for a long time now he can see O'Malley winning with a knee. But that's the thing. Even if he just threatens it, feints it, because that's how I think he's going to get it done. He may get O'Malley to the cage and try and work for a trip or get his hands together for a dump. But he's got to get close to do those types of things. And it's one of them where, like you just said there, I think O'Malley's got a great fight IQ. The uppercuts will come into fruition, and it's a tough one because Merab has been dominating a lot of his fights and just roll dogging everyone. The cardio, we know the cardio is going to be there for him. He's going to keep coming forward. But O'Malley has that sneaky power as well. A lot of people don't think he's got power, but I think it's just sneaky power that he has. And we all saw what happened when Sterling tried to get in close. Just got caught.
Yeah, did not work. I mean, look at these numbers here. I'm looking at the grappling page here for you guys now. Of course, as expected, O'Malley does not grapple. He doesn't do takedown, so his average is very low. But Merab, look at that. It's incredible. 6.43 takedown average. I mean, I think most of that came from his fight against all of that came from his fight against Henry Cejudo. The amount of times it took him down there, that was insane, unprecedented.
That, taking down Cejudo as well, that's just not an easy thing to do.
It's not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do. And then to say that Sean O'Malley will be able to withstand his takedowns is thinking, can he? Will he? I do wonder.
I think if he can keep getting close, I'm not saying that Merab's not going to do it. I'm just saying it's going to be hard for him because O'Malley's going to be precise with his strikes. It's going to be on it, like you said, feint knees, feint uppercuts. If Merab gets close, O'Malley's going for a ride.
O'Malley needs to make Merab respect him. Have you seen Merab respect anyone lately?
No.
The way that he fights, he doesn't respect his opponents. He just walks in, doesn't he? He's crazy.
And the thing I want to sort of say before we sort of carry on is as well, like Merab's been sort of very, very active on social media. He's kind of getting a little bit of a personality as well. And I don't know if that maybe could sort of come into play on fight night because he was just a guy that would just go in his fight and fight his fight. Now he's kind of being more on social media, more joking and laughing on social media, getting into doing things online. And I don't know if that's going to play into...
you think it have a negative effect on him?
Yeah, I don't know. I just... You know what he's like now? It just...
Yeah, but
words here, but yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying, and sometimes I do wonder if that does have an impact on a fighter or not. And there's no real data to suggest it does per se, but you can speculate. But I would say this: about damn time are probably the words that are floating around his head this whole entire week because no one's actually worked harder than this guy in order to be where he is right now. He's done the most. He's fought more people than he needs to in order to have an opportunity at the title shot. He's just been put second mainly because
Sterling's been champion.
Yeah, exactly. Sterling, but also they put other people in front of him as well. And I would say that I don't think O'Malley has really encountered anyone like Dvalishvili.
No, you're spot on there. Like, he hasn't fought anyone that I don't think either of them have not fought a fighter of either caliber, if you know what I mean. So obviously, Sean O'Malley's not fought anyone with. Well, I say the wrestling credentials because obviously that's what Sterling does. But
and they train together as well, don't they? But it's still very different.
We didn't really see many. We didn't see Sterling get that close. So yeah, I'm trying to think back to that fight now. It's quite a while away now.
Yeah, it's way back. Sterling, O'Malley's corner is like, you gotta go, Sterling. You gotta go. And then he goes, gets caught, and that's the last thing he heard and saw on that night.
100%. Just before I move on, Proxys and says Merab can make it boring if he can't get the takedowns. Didn't get a single one against Aldo, but just kept him against the cage for 15 minutes. That's I hope it doesn't turn out that way. 5 a.m. our time UK. Exactly that, my friend.
Yeah,
we will have to crawl through that. He says
at that point I'll be begging O'Malley to get the win. I wouldn't mind picking O'Malley and then Merab winning.
Oh no, 100%. I would love to see Merab as champion. That'd be great.
For that reason, I might even just do that. But if it gets to like 5th round and Merab is just resting, then it's like O'Malley, please put us and him out of our miseries.
He says, do you think Merab has staph? He got medically cleared, but definitely looks like staph on his arm. Yeah, I see that. I think it is staph, but yeah, the doctors maybe just sort of just push that to one side, lads. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Keep the fight on. It's all right.
I actually don't know enough about it to be fair, to be sure.
No, I don't. I haven't read properly into it, but I've seen his arm and it does look like staph. But I think he was on some media channel the other week and he was putting it down. He was playing it down. If you know what I mean, said no, it's fine.
Yeah, I reckon people can heal up from that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but yeah, just to go on your point there, Process of my saying about
it's always a caution
fight against Aldo. Yeah, you're 1,000,000% right. He didn't really take down Aldo. And he just had him up against the cage. And to be fair, Merab's striking impressed me in that fight. But I think it's just because of the pressure that he possesses, like the pressure he puts on, and he will just not stop for anything, and he will just keep coming forward. And if he can kind of put that game plan on against O'Malley could tie. Right. If he can get O'Malley on a back foot, even though O'Malley can strike off of his back foot, don't get me wrong, it's just he's got to be defensively sort of. But like the prime example I would use is at the weekend. You know when I was saying about Entourage coming forward when she had her hands down, and she got caught by got caught by Yan Jinan. She had her hands down and just got caught. Yeah,
just chasing
and then
her.
she had a great game plan against Santos. We saw Silver at the weekend, and she had her hands up, but the pressure was forward. So again, if Merab's going to come forward against someone like O'Malley, he's got to be kind of like defensively sound as well as putting that pressure on.
Yeah,
someone like Sean Strickland's perfect example. Sean Strickland's very, very defensively sound, but puts the pressure on you.
He does. Yeah, he's very defensively sound. And I would say this as well with Merab, like he needs to be invested in the 4, 5, 6, because I think he might miss a 1, 2, 3. And like someone with a tank like Merab, he's got 8, 9, 10 if he needs to. You know, he can keep throwing and keep going. But that's where he needs to be invested in, because that's how he's going to be closing the distance and putting that pace on O'Malley. The moment he affords him that time and space to work, then yeah, really you're talking about Merab having difficulty. So keep coming forwards is a way to get it done. It's just going to be a scary one because we just know O'Malley to stop people. And he's got that ability to do it. He can do it. He absolutely can do it. Let's get the gauges up and see how this looks on paper then for those guys.
Get the gauges up. Just want to quickly say as well, because I think the Ray Longo will have a perfect game plan for Dvalishvili anyway, because I'm sure they had the perfect game plan with Sterling going into this fight, and obviously they've got the best kind of outing in this because Sterling has been in there with him.
Yeah,
and he can say that, listen, he was biting on this feint, he was biting on that feint, or he was doing things. So he's been in there with him, so he's experienced it, and he's experienced his power as well. Because he didn't get knocked out cold.
Yeah,
then he's experienced his power, so he's just got to say, look, listen, watch out for this, watch out for that. But yeah, like I said, I'm sure Ray Longo would have a perfect game plan for Dvalishvili in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so striking, I think hands down that's got to be O'Malley. Grappling, we know that Merab's going to use it.
Go to Merab, yeah.
Power,
nice and easy. This one.
Yeah, I would think so.
O'Malley
got power, speed. O'Malley,
cardio.
Merab.
Oh, I think
that was the fastest one yet. I would have. I mean, if you had said cardio, yeah, O'Malley, I'd be like, whoa, back up, bro.
I think no one on planet Earth could have any complaints on them.
Yeah, that's got to be hands down, right? That's
the thing. We cannot go back and forth on them. Everyone in the chat, if you're there, you can't disagree with that.
Watch Merab knock out Sean O'Malley now.
That would be mad. Could you imagine?
Insane. Oh man, that'd be stranger days. But yeah, I'm confident with that, and I think on the night I would probably even side with that as well.